Let's see, call it a room above a bookshop. The diplomats of the Khanate were expelled from Port Cornelian following the Galatia incident. Only one remains behind, not in any official capacity, you understand. No, I'm retired now, he tells you cheerfully. His crockery is white as the moon and rimmed with gold. Over tea, he comments sympathetically on the governor's difficulties. I feel for the man, I really do. And asks probing questions regarding your travels. You manage to squeeze a few of your own. Oh, the Khan is very fond of sapphires. Blue is his favorite color. We're going to attempt to pan for sapphires in the fungal jungle. And nope, gained one tale of terror and one terror, nothing else. Okay, we are going to head north to the Melting Isles again to reduce our terror. Well, didn't get very many fragments that time, but still lost terror, which is the main thing we're there for. Eventually, we'll come through when I'm not desperately trying to lower terror, and we'll go through as the bat again. Not this time. We could stop by Igul and see what we need to do to remove our memories of Nook, and then explore more out this way. Or we could go up through Nuncio Polythyreme and Port Cecil to drop off our passenger. I just feel like we do not quite... Our hold is taken up by a lot of random crap that we've picked up. So I feel like we need to get rid of this passenger, sell some things like the spider silk, maybe use some of the wine at the Undercrow, or possibly some more at Nook. We're going to attempt to mingle with the Nook folk. They acknowledge your presence, but little more. Most shrink back, assuming you mean harm. Others deliberately swim just above you in a crude attempt at intimidation. They carry bone knives or tooth-tipped spears. A few gesture to you. In welcome, invitation, it is unclear. The slightly glutinous water makes speech impossible, so the natives have developed a language of signs. You can interpret the most basic. A finger pulled across the throat, for example, is one of the more polite invitations to depart. Okay, not going to cover that too much because YouTube would not like it. But gained a lot of stuff. Return to freedom. Your clothes itch. The airlock grinds so slowly. Your breath is spiced with wine. Every heartbeat echoes in your head. Your blood strains against your skin. Through that door is freedom. The once foul water tastes sweet. Going to sample some nookweed. A memory of space. Your vision darkens, then floods with light. Nook is not freedom. There is no freedom down here in the black belly of the earth. Freedom is above, beyond the thin blue shell of the sky, out in the stirring, shining reaches of the high wilderness. Once you surged between suns, you recall swelling suns and golden thrones. With the writhing world, now you coil in this pit on the bed of this little sea and sleep and dream of the winds of nowhere and stir and sleep again. You are growing hungry. Okay, gained 5 memories of distant shores, 1 intriguing snippet, another memory of Nook. Anything could have found its way down here, or anyone. This will require increasing numbers of phosphorescent nodules. He may encounter different things on different trips, but can only collect 1 treasure per dive. Festering bubbles burst against your skin. Every kick and stroke is a struggle. You swim through a foul labyrinth of passages and intestines. Your eyes sting with every stroke. The water grows ever more bilious. Slipstream. There is no treasure here, but a swift downward current promises a faster journey. The current pushes you through narrowing innards. The water sours. Your descent slows. Gonna do that again. Gaining fragments. Gaining a lot of fragments. We just gained a secret from this. And it's just letting us continue to do that. I don't... You are so deep that the water is thick, airless, acidic. There can be nothing below. Choking in the darkness, unbreathable, a persistent viscosity pushes you down towards the digestive juices of the hideous stomach below. Only frantic kicking allows you to struggle free and rise again, gripping tight to a stomach hair to get your strength back. One thing is clear, this is as low as you can go. Okay, well, honestly, we have enough nodules to do that again, if we want. But I don't know that we have enough tolerance for Nook water left. So let's search for more nodules instead. Okay, what does this do? There's only one law here, survival of the fittest. Thinking in 3 dimensions, you pick your target, a rangy man with a bag of phosphorescent globules that provide light down here. He doesn't have as many scars as most, but he's missing an eye. You approach from his blind side, and above, launching yourself from a Nook tooth like a torpedo. He fights, but an arm around his neck cuts off breathable water as well as it would air. The other Nook folk pay no attention as you claim his stash. Honestly, I'm not seeing any benefit to that over just scavenging for the nodules ourselves. Sample some more Nookweed. Gaining a lot of stuff from that, though also gaining some terror, so let's not do that again just now. Climb down an undulating tapeworm. This could be a quick way down to into the depths, or at least a prominent entry in the upcoming 2nd volume of The Worst Ways to Die at Z. 22% chance of success, you say. Let's just keep swimming. Kind of wondering if this is working properly, because it's just giving us the set. Like last time it just gave us the slipstream every single time, and this time it's just giving us the tapeworm one every single time, it seems like. Oh, nope, it does change. So yeah, slipstream. At the very least, we're getting fragments. Explore a lost ship. It looks like a Khanate vessel caught upside down. A painful adventure. The ship is pinned only loosely to the great teeth. As you are exploring, it shifts. It doesn't fall far or very quickly, but it's enough to dislodge a Kanaganian captain's chest of drawers and send it crashing slowly onto you. It takes long, painful minutes to free your crushed leg. Have a wound. I'd really like to see what's on there, but I also really don't want 2 wounds at once. So we can definitely get fragments from that, but it seems like a lot of the other treasures and challenges are just too difficult for us. Granted, getting the fragments means we can improve our stats, so still worth doing, but we're going to have to be careful with the terror and the wounds. Take soundings. Perhaps there's some evidence of the great hollowness underneath these shores. Depth below. Striking the ground causes stones to shift and rattle. It is hard to at first to hear anything more than that, but if you try long enough and strike hard enough, the whole beach shivers like the surface of a drum. The flotsam letters quiver and align themselves in concentric circles around the point of impact. The next wave brings ashore 3 or 4 times the usual freight. Talk about the caverns below the dead letter office. Someone must know something or be curious. Perhaps not. You don't get far into your questions before the hairless postwoman stands up and goes over to the fire, holding herself tightly. She is whispering, nothing coherent. Fire, clean, smooth, down to the bone. No excuse. Smooth, smooth, little black hairs. Still your fool tongue, says Blunt Thomas. Yeah, well, I was able to basically fix that, smooth that over by just talking about shifts at the dead letter office, but yeah, no one wants to talk about how weird this place is. Okay, guess turn up there when we have mirrors, and frankly that is not a high enough priority to make me go swap veils for mirrors again. Also, it's very far away from the abyss that does that, so... Okay, so things you can do at Polythyreme. Cure the sharpness you gained in Anth. Enough time in Polythyreme and your sharpness will dissolve back to flesh. This will not change your capacity for sharpness or remove any permanent Anthian advantages you may carry. Okay, interesting. Report. Let's see, we could carry some Claymen to Polythyreme. We could even potentially use them to let the tireless engineer enjoy his sleep again. However, we definitely have the room. We have 20 units of cargo space right now. Yeah. Really, you made that just enough that you'll scrape on it if you just sail straight out of the harbor? Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to pick up some fuel in not Port Cecil, but Con Shadow, just to tide us over until we can get to Mount Palmerston. Okay, drop off the checkered character. Kind of interesting that he gives you less than the shady character, even though he usually has to go much further. Alright, throw it over the side. We haven't found a use for it, and we'll lose some terror. Yeah, we need to then, like, go to Hunter's Keep and figure out what we need to excavate. We're gonna buy a crate of human souls for the Devil List, because we're gonna visit Mount Palmerston. We are going to buy at least one empty mirror catch box. Let's say a couple of them, see if we can figure out how to make this work. And then we're going to buy some fuel. Should be more than enough to get us around where we need to go. Okay, we would need a Searing Enigma, 3,000 echoes, and a lot more alerts. Or a lot more veils. I'm gonna go with a lot more veils out of those options, assuming we can't find the Searing Enigma. Okay, well, they're still buying this. Unevil's. Okay, so we would need 3 hunting trophies to help our chef. Okay, that requires hunting trophies. Oh, yeah. I think to get hunting trophies we would have to, you know, hunt larger Z-beasts. Which I really don't want to do in this particular ship. A lot of things are currently pointing us towards get a bigger ship. So we're gonna have to check when we get back to London and see if we're in a position to buy a larger ship. The word has spread. A queue is already waiting. Not a queue, a mob. There's the one, shouts one of its members. It's Gantpole meat. We'll all be cursed. The redolent flesh merchant turns to you, smile not quite as drippy. We'd better run, he whispers. Such soup. You escape while he's still trying to choke the word out. Your last sight of him is the mob hurling him from the edge of the shell into the rancid waters below. So much for this trade route. At least he paid in advance. So yeah, that's the longest that we can just keep running this back and forth, which honestly is a good thing, because you know, we only have so many supplies, and terror is also through the roof. So we are going to head for Irem, and then Frostbound, and then stop by the Undercrow, and then Mount Palmerston.